3.36 average with 1 shutout, 11-7-5 in the 27 games he's appeared in.
This is to advise you while I mention, go ahead.
Go ahead.
That Bobby Taylor and Pete Silverman, our well-beloved executive producer, and I have been selected and paid by the Philadelphia Flyers.
The referees, Wally Harris. The linesmen are Jim Christensen and Ron Finn. Now with the opening face-off in the starting lineups, Gene Hart.
All right, we'll go with a new lineup for Philadelphia as they have Holmgren on the right, McLeish on the left, centered by Lintzman, along with Ben Wilson and Jimmy Watson back, as the Flyers obviously looking for not more shots or getting plenty of those, but better opportunity shots. The Kings with the puck in their own zone. Al Mudrock behind the net, trying to wind up on the near side. Outlet pass for Hayslip is blocked and kicks into center zone. Out there along with Hayslip is on the far wing, Bert Wilson, as the Kings out of their own right wing corner work it up on the near side, and Hayslip bangs it down the ice, rolling toward the Philadelphia line, taken off by Ben Wilson, cleared up on the right wing to center. Holmgren's outlet pass is behind McLeish, who has to go back to the Philadelphia line to control. Turns and starts up at center, rolls it in on goaltender Graham. He pokes it out along the far side into center ice. With it is Wilson, almost checked off the puck, but gets it cross ice to Jimmy Watson, feeds it slowly into the Los Angeles zone. Bert Wilson back the other way with Hayslip. Fires it into the near corner to the right of Stevenson in the Flyer zone, but it's poked away by McLeish to Watson and away. The Lintzman at center ice. Past one man. Tries to get past another. Overskates the puck. Boom. Good check on the near side by Philadelphia. Ties up the Kings. Hayslip, as Frank Bathe out there now, drills it into the Los Angeles zone, but as Graham out on the left side, playing at the center ice. Clark takes the puck away as we have a broken stick for a King, and he'll go off the ice to be replaced by Goring. Goring along with Mike Murphy. Shot toward the net by Frank Bathe from the left point. Picked off by Los Angeles. Failed to clear the first time. And on the near zone does the center, but it's picked off by Clark, who's out there with Hill and Reggie Leach, as Pat Quinn doing a wholesale shakeup of the offensive line. Puck in the Flyers' offensive right wing corner, but the Kings taken and lifted down the ice. Racing for it is Mike Murphy, but Stevenson comes out and drills the center ice along the far boards. Leach dumps it near zone, but it's picked off by Los Angeles defenseman Randy Holt, fired around behind the Philadelphia net to the far corner. Dug out by two men, Leach and by Daly, but Murphy gets it back to the point. There's a drive and a good save off that left point shot from Rick Hampton. The save made by Stevenson. The shot's even at 1, no score. 1:58 gone first period.
Here are the scratches for Los Angeles: Randy Maneri, Danny Grant, Tommy Williams, Brian Glennie, and Daryl Etterstrand. And for the Flyers, Dave Hoyda and Andre Dupont, who was really sick last night after the game in Pittsburgh with some sort of virus.
Told about there, along with Mike Murphy, centered by Butch Goring. The Flyers go Hill with Clark and Leach. Back to the point, shot, and it was trickled wide off that drive by the Kings, and back comes Clark at the Los Angeles line. He's got Leach breaking for the net. His pass partially deflected by Hampton. As up ice comes Goring. Circles back at his own line as he wants to get rhythm in his tack right up the middle from the blue line, way over the top of the Philadelphia net, off the glass, rolls to the right side of Stevenson, plays back in the corner to Leach, outlet pass looking for Daly, hates for a check, but they go up to Clark on the far wing and away to Leach at center ice with Hill. Leach rolls it down the right wing side behind the Los Angeles net. Ron Graham has trouble with it, but gets it up to Mike Murphy as he's bumped by Al Hill. Murphy away, looking for Dion at center ice, gets the pass, throw at the Flyer line, right circle shot, partially blocked, and Tommy Gorence takes it for Philadelphia, kicks it into center ice, has no control, following up is Rick LaPointe. His pass blocked by Dave Kaler to Charlie Simmer over the line for Los Angeles, down into the left wing corner of the Flyer zone. Picked up there by LaPointe, out to Flyers, Bob Kelly. Break wide pass taken by Gorence at center, has 3 Kings around him. Swept deep by Doug Hallward, accidentally in his own zone, but picked up by Los Angeles, and shot out of the right wing corner to center ice all the way down past Ben Wilson. And Stevenson clears it out to Gorence, off his stick along the right wing boards at center. Kings shoot it out, taken back in onside. Gorence in front to Kelly. And Graham came out to block that one away, take the shot away in the deflection. The Kings back, but losing it up the slot is Dave Taylor. Poking it back in outside the Flyer zone is Doug Hallward as he's hit by Bob Kelly. And Ron Finn calls a deliberate offside, face-off deep in the LA end after we come back from this message.
People use our money to get the most out of life. If you're like just about everyone else, you've probably spent a lot of time the last couple of months shopping for everyone else. Well, a shopper's loan from HFC could help you get something just for you, like a new stereo or television. The HFC Shopper's Loan, household finance, an equal opportunity lender.
Come on into HFC.
Well, Tommy Gorns out there is celebrating a birthday today. He turns 22. It's a sin to be that young, Gene.
Well, he's out there now with Kelly and Bridgman and Ben Wilson with Rick LaPointe. And Dion is out there along with Taylor and Simmer and Rob Palmer with Rich Mulhern. The puck at the blue line kept in by LaPointe, but taken away by Los Angeles, and its outlet pass to Simmer. Rolling through for Taylor. Oh, he's onside, right wing, short side shot, save. Rebound kick to the net. Dion right in. But it's poked away nicely by Bob Kelly of the Flyers, up on the right wing, storming through at the Los Angeles line. Over the line, right circle, offside. It's Mel Bridgman who did that. Bobby Clark, shake of the shoulders and the stick.
Two finals today. Washington and Detroit tied at 3 apiece this afternoon, and the Minnesota North Stars were soundly trounced by the St. Louis Blues, 8-2. That St. Louis, I believe, Gene, is going to catch Vancouver Canucks for second spot in that Smythe division. I truly believe that.
Well, I'll tell you, that would make the Rangers or Atlanta if they finish 1 or 2 in the best of 3 round, because with Vancouver, the lowest point total, the team that finishes in the best position in that first round of the playoffs, right now, either Atlanta or the Rangers would have to play at home on one day, travel all day to Vancouver, play the next day in Vancouver, and then if they won, would have to come all the way back east for a third game. And that's brutal. So both clubs, in fact, all the clubs in the East would be happy if Vancouver did not make it. All right, the Flyers have an offside in the L.A. zone as we have another interesting line of Barber on the left, Ververgaard on the right, centered by Dunlop, along with Daly and Jimmy Watson. And the Kings go with Murray Wilson, centered by Apps.
Dunlop and Apps. Comes back to Holt. Off to Rick Hampton. Slightly behind the breaking winger. And that was Murray Wilson. The Flyers, Bill Barber with the puck for Philadelphia. Apps forechecking in the Flyer zone. Big Bob Daly stick handling for Philadelphia. Looks for Dunlop breaking into the zone. Dunlop deep in the corner. Has Ververgaard momentarily free in front. Tries to get him the puck at the goal line, and it's picked off by Sil Apps. 15:30 and counting here in the period. Intercepted by Dunlop. But it's knocked into the corner by Rick Hampton. Billy Barber trying to go down in front of the score! I didn't even see it. Did it go off in the defenseman?
No, it went off Graham. Hit the back of his leg and went right in the net. Well, you just never know in this game, do you? You can take a powerful shot, a good slap shot from the slot and not score, and then get a goal like that. Actually, what started off was a good forechecking of Blake Dunlop there. Now watch Barber.
Flyers goal scored by number 7, Bill Barber.
Let's try to lay it out in front, hit the skate went in.
I was looking for someone in the crease, never anticipating a roll up the goaler's leg, and that comes at 4:30 of the first period. Dunlop getting the assist and Barber the goal, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia. Paul Holmgren can't find the handle. Vanaski throws it deep into the Philadelphia zone. Frank Bathe tries to pump it around the board, and instead it goes to Holmgren. He looks up ice to a breaking Kenny Linsman. It's knocked down by the Kings. Off to Rob Palmer, throws it into the Philadelphia zone, but right on the stick of LaPointe. Try to hit Linsman breaking. Up ice to Paul Holmgren. Over the line, and out comes Graham about 25 feet to throw it up, and it's offside as LaPointe took it at neutral ice and then over the blue line. Let's see if we can take this goal from our high camera and see if it's a bit clearer. Dunlop with a good forechecking, poke free. Barber controls.
Well, it looked like it hit his stick.
Yeah.
That's Graham's stick and went in the net.
Take him any way you can get them. The Flyers on top, 1-0, and Frank Bathe, along with Dennis Ververgaard, playing tonight right through Graham's stick. Knocked down by the L.A. Kings. Mark Heaslip around the board. LaPointe can't keep it in the zone, but Frank Bathe back deep for Philadelphia. At the red line, gives it away to Los Angeles, and that's Murray Wilson, slowed down by the Flyers' Rick LaPointe. Holmgren fights through a pick. Rick McLeish tried to pick up the rolling puck over the line. Heaslip with the puck, shot in front. Oh, and it goes right into the pad of goaltender Wayne Stevenson, and buried in front was Vic Vanaski by Frank Bathe. Oh, what a hit.
Does that bring back memories?
Of number 2.
Now, that's That's what you need for a defenseman, is to clear those guys out from in front of the net. And watch, you're going to see Frank Bathe move in there. And actually, it was Bathe and Holmgren, both of them. I think more Holmgren than Bathe there.
Well, Wally Harris did not call a penalty on a hard check by Paul Holmgren and Frank Bathe. As the LA Kings' Mark Heaslip, the right winger, threw it in the pad, almost had a deflection, but the Kings couldn't get one home. So it's still 1-0 Philadelphia, 14:28 to go in the first period. Bathe and Lapointe, the defense pairing for Philadelphia. The lines, as Gary indicated, are pretty much with an odd winger tonight, as Rick McLeish is playing left wing on this line with Holmgren and Linseman. Comes back to the point, partially deflected, but knocked down off the stick of goaltender Wayne Stevenson on a shot from Rick Hampton. Holmgren gives it to Bathe, tries to come up to McLeish, hustling for it. Linseman looking for the trailer. Over the line, the face-off circle. Holmgren's deflection right into the glove of goaltender Graham, and he hit the ice. Graham was not injured, fortunately, nor was Paul Holmgren.
Good burst of speed there by Linseman to pick up that puck, and made a nice feed to Holmgren, who was heading for the net. Paul just didn't get it much stick on it, and Graham came up with the easy save.
Bob Clark on with Al Hill playing on the left side and Reggie Leach on the right side. To take the draw for Los Angeles will be number 19, Butch Goring. Clark gets it back to Jimmy Watson. Shot is off the board. Karam's out in front, and the Kings finally pick it up. Murphy tried to send away Goring, but it's right on the stick of Charlie Simmer. Taking it wide, nowhere to go, but throws it in on goaltender Wayne Stevenson. Off the glass for Ben Wilson. He can't clear. Leach takes it away from Goring. Kicks down the rolling puck, and Ben Wilson behind goaltender Wayne Stevenson. Around to Al Hill. Good hit there by the Kings. Clark comes back to get a hit on Goring. It's kept in by Randy Holt. Looks for Mike Murphy. Tries to throw it out in front. Picked off nicely by Wilson onto the stick of Reggie Leach. Fires. Clark looks to Leach. Headmans the puck. Look at a shot. Hole from a severe angle. Knocked down by Clark. Looks back to the point. Tried to throw it in front. Picked up by the LA Kings. Hampton. He's taken down by the Flyers. Al Hill. No question about that one. Hook will be the call, I would think. And we'll have power play Los Angeles.
Well, this will give L.A. an opportunity to get back in this game. But see how far Graham was out on that shot by Leach? You know, he was out almost halfway to the dot.
Number 37, Al Hill.
That's what you call cutting down the angle. And there you're going to see the penalty. Little hook.
Little hook.
Little hook, right. Well, now you get these goal scorers on for the Kings.
Well, we have not seen a heck of a lot of Dave Taylor, but he is out there and will play the right wing along with Marcel Dion, number 16.
Goring playing the point. A lot of firepower.
Marcel Dion and Bob Clark, a couple of 16s to take the draw. 13:25 to go in here in the period. Billy Barber try to get it back to Clark. Gets it to Jimmy Watson. Right at the blue line, looks for Billy Barber. And he allows the puck to go into the LA Kings zone. Clark forechecking for Philadelphia. Goring gets it off to Rob Palmer. Has to watch out for Clark and Barber. The Kings widen out. The Flyers slowly skate back into the neutral ice area. Marcel Dion at the blue line. Avoids a check by Jimmy Watson. Flyers standing 4 white shirts right up at the line. Fans love it, that's for sure. As Dion tried to hit a breaking winger, picked off by Billy Barber. Looks up to Bob Clark and loses control. It's intercepted by L.A. With the puck is Dave Taylor. Jimmy Watson backs into the zone in the face-off circle. Pinned against the boards. There's Bill Barber. The puck squirts free to Butch Goring. He tries to widen out. Kings, Butch Goring at the blue line. 35-footer. Good save by goaltender Wayne Stevenson, and it's Ben Wilson getting it out the neutral ice and then throwing it into the Kings zone. 1 minute on Al Hill's hooking penalty. Flyers bring out fresh legs in Mel Bridgman and Tom Gorins. Butch Goring sends it up to Rob Palmer. Goes to the backhand to Dion, who is slowed down and then intercepted by the Flyers' Mel Bridgman. And the Flyers throw the puck into the LA Kings zone. Goring avoids a check by Mel Bridgman. Throws it up ice to Sillaps. At the blue line, looks for a breaking wingers. Loses control. And that was Murray Wilson.
You know, Hugh, on a power play, it's very important that all three men go up on a line together, that they've got that speed. And here is a good example. All the men were moving. Unfortunately, the puck got away from the King player there. But Murray Wilson. But it was actually an excellent rush.
Wilson loses the handle. The Kings try and gain control on Dew. Back to Howard. His shot into the midsection of Frank Bathe. Backhanded wide. Recovery by Sillaps. He comes back to the point. Howard at the blue line. 35-footer right into the midsection, and goaltender Wayne Stevenson hangs on. As Kings are being pushed out in front. Good effort by the Blue Liners for Philadelphia. Here comes again, Gar.
And just look at the Wayne had a clear path, you know, all the way from the blue line there. Nobody was screening in front. The Kings were trying, but Flyers were doing an excellent job in getting that man out of there.
Information when the Flyers are down. Frank Bathe for Philadelphia. 2 purple shirts on him, including Taylor. Tries to dig it free, knocked down by Sillaps, comes back to the point. Howard keeps it in the zone. Hill will be out in 2 seconds. Out shot! Hold may have stunned Stevenson. Recovery here is by the Flyers' Mel Bridgman. Looks up ice to Gorence. Gorence with Hill trailing, takes it wide. Look at a shot right into the glove of goaltender Ron Graham, and he hangs on.
Well, Wayne Stevenson came up with a couple of good saves there. And Flyers survived that penalty. Here you're going to see a blast. Catches Wayne high on the shoulder there, but he keeps it out of the net.
Well, one thing Apps can do is score. And the information on Pat Quinn through the 80-81 season. And Gorence.
Gorence fired a little knuckleball there. Didn't get good wood on it. Well, you notice Graham's style. He certainly does come out and challenge the shooters. He's not going to be caught in his crease area, so he will come out and try to cut down that angle.
Vanasky wins the draw and gets it back to Rick Mulhern. Mulhern being hounded by Blake Dunlop. Comes up the boards to Bert Wilson, and the puck comes into the Philadelphia zone. 11 minutes exactly to go in the first period. Flyers 1 and the LA Kings 0. Verbegaard for breaking Blake Dunlop. Looks for Billy Barber over the line and offside the call as the puck was poked back over the blue line, and we'll have a face-off on neutral ice. Billy Barber scoring at the 4:30 mark to give Philadelphia a 1-0 lead on, I guess, essentially a goaler's error.
Well, you call those flukes, but right. You're certainly not going to say no. No, you'll take it. The team will take it. It just goes to show you, Hugh, anytime a shot is directed at the goal, you never know what will happen.
Ben Wilson throws it into the King zone. Los Angeles, Rob Palmer off to Rick Mulhern. He in turn loses it to Billy Barber. Dunlop comes in deep. Takes a real strong hit against the boards. Tries to kick it free, and with Wally Harris there, we'll have a face-off to the right of Graham, who is kicked aside. What's that, 4 shots on goal? I get 4 out of 5.
Just see at the end of 1, Buffalo leads Atlanta, which is good news.
You know, only reason I get turned around, you know, it's rare that you see the Flyers outshot by such a wide margin, yet leading in this game. The Kings out shooting them 9-5. And there has only been that one minor call against the Flyers, Al Hill. Puck is loose behind goaltender Graham, picked up by Dunlop. Throws it out to Barber. Look at a shot through a screen on the ice, and it's picked off by Randy Hope. Around the boards, and it's kept in by the Flyers' Ben Wilson right at the blue line. Wheels to Dunlop. Barber is free again. Verbegaard throws it in front, but Graham had stick down in superposition, and it's gloved down by Rick LaPointe. Look for Blake Dunlop. Dunlop is taken down by the Kings, but it's controlled by Ben Wilson. Wilson stick handling and goes to the backhand. Flyers want some fresh legs. That is picked off by Los Angeles. Verbegaard forechecking deep. Randy Holt right on the stick of Vic Vanasky. Knocked down nicely by the Flyers' Ken Lintzman to Verbegaard. Nowhere to go. Looks for a breaking winger. LaPointe through a screen. Lintzman was parked in front. Penalty coming up here against Los Angeles. LaPointe throws it off the boards. Clark now on for Philadelphia, on to Ben Wilson. Good move by Wilson. Looks back and it's picked off by L.A. And we'll have a penalty with Clark right in front, but Wilson couldn't get him the puck.
Well, here's a chance for the Flyers now. And, you know, that line there of Barber, Dunlop, and Beauregard, they've had two excellent shifts. Kept the puck in the Los Angeles zone, and
Los Angeles penalty number 4,
really
Randy Holt
great
forces the
forecheck,
holding.
you know, taking that body and coming up with that puck and
45 seconds.
setting up some good plays.
Randy Holt, Los Angeles, 2 minutes holding.
10:25. Time of the penalty to Randy Holt. And the Flyers will bring out Ken Lintzman, Rick McLeish, Paul Holmgren, Billy Barber, and Ben Wilson. Butch Goring will take the draw for the LA Kings. He is paired with Mike Murphy. They'll be the penalty killing forwards for Los Angeles. Defense pairing will be Bob Palmer and Doug Howard. Ben Wilson keeps it in the LA zone. Comes back to Rick McLeish right at the blue line. Knocked down nicely by Wilson. Looks for the trailer. Billy Barber had to go to the backhand. Flyers try and set up again in front. Lintzman can't get stick down. McLeish shot through a screen. McLeish tries to fight through a couple of Kings, and that is Butch Goring back with Ben Wilson. Goring cannot get to the puck. Wilson does. Off to Billy Barber. Goring almost picked that one off, and Wilson nervously in front, but hits a breaking Ken Lintzman. Lintzman flying down that right wing, over the line, looks for McLeish breaking right on his skate. He can't get it to Holmgren in front. The puck is rolling up in the air. There's Paul trying to pick it off the netting. Lintzman on the back around, throws it out in front. Picked off by Billy Barber as Lintzman gets back to Barber's position at the point. In the faceoff circle, Barber's shot. Thrown into the corner. Barber will recover again for Philadelphia. Looks for Holmgren. In the faceoff circle, Barber spots Ben Wilson back at that left point. Rolling puck through a screen on the ice. And it went wide as the goaltender is called to the ice. Picked off by Philadelphia's Bill Barber. Wilson shot, deflected in front. Goring puts it off the boards. McLeish knocks it down again. Flyers try and set up. They still have 50 seconds on the power play. McLeish, Wilson, quick shot. Shot again. Flyers applying incredible pressure. Have not gotten it by goaltender Ron Graham. Lintzman with the puck. So breaking Ben Wilson, he can't get stick down, and we're going to have penalty here against the frustrated Philadelphia club, and that's Ben Wilson on Doug Howard.
You know, Billy Barber, or Rick McLeish rather, had a whole open net, and it hit Paul Holmgren's skate and deflected off in the corner. And
Number 3, Ben Wilson. 2 minutes for hooking. The time 11 minutes.
a lot of pressure by the Flyers there. Just a lot of hard work and moving that puck around. See the good work that Holmgren is doing in front of the net. And watch it just slide by.
Cannot believe that one. Well, we talked about Philadelphia being outshot 10-9, or rather 9-5. They're now leading the Kings 10-9. But both clubs will be at equal strength for the next 32 seconds, 4 skaters aside, and then for 128, the Kings will have the manpower advantage. 8 minutes to go in tonight's first period. Flyers lead the Kings 1-0. LA Kings Rick Hampton with the puck will start the rush for Los Angeles, but retreats and drops it off for fellow defensive mate Doug Howard. Howard into the Philadelphia zone, off to Apps. His shot on a quick wrist shot off the glass, knocked down by Apps. Clark on him. The Kings will have a power play in 3 seconds. Howard loses control, picked off by Apps, throws it back to Howard. Howard into the corner, shot from the short side by Steve Jensen, poked up to Bob Clark and tried to send away Reggie Leeds. The Kings have the manpower advantage for the next 1:15 and counting. Dave Taylor with the puck. Good forechecking on the part of Mel Bridgman, but away comes Butch Goring. Goring takes it over the line, tries to set up. Flyers go back into the box, comes back to Apps, shot in front, comes back to the point. Kings control, too far for breaking Taylor. Kings widen out, comes back to Goring at the point, looks again off to Taylor. Taylor's going to get a wrist shot, turnaround stuffer, deflected, and it's loose in front. The Flyers almost threw it into their own net.
You know, Flyers got 3 guys there laying on the ice trying to keep that puck out of the net. Good work by the Kings. Give and go there
Charlie
by Simmer and Taylor, but they just couldn't put it home.
Tom Gorhams almost flipped it into his own net that time, trying to poke it into the pad of goaltender Wayne Stevenson.
Looks like we got another wide open affair tonight, Hugh. Already 21 shots and still have almost 7 minutes left. Just less than 7 minutes.
Bill Bridgman to take the draw with Marcel Dion for the Kings. Sillaps gets it back to Butch Goring. Comes back to Apps. Make that Taylor. Comes back to the left point. Hampton in turn throws it to Dion. In front, deflection. Picked off nicely by Jimmy Watson. Bill Bridgman there for Philadelphia. Fans on it. Kept in by Goring. Comes back to Rick Hampton. And in turn to Charlie Simmer. In front was Taylor. Shot deflected wide. Going for it is Sillaps. Jim Watson right there for Philadelphia. He broke his stick. Watson picks it up from forward Mel Bridgman. Back to Butch Goring. Off to Charlie Simmer. Simmer still controls. Takes the shot off Jimmy Watson's skate. Puck is on the goal line. Picked off by Taylor. Comes back to Goring. Goring. A turn to Taylor. Wrist shot is partially deflected by a diving Jimmy Watson. The LA Kings still control. Ben Wilson on. Both teams at equal strength. In front, Watson backhands it, but not out. Goring through a screen, deflected down, backhander. Somehow Wayne Stevenson got called on it. Charlie Simmer still stick handling for the Kings. Flyers completely disorganized, but Wilson sends away Goring. One-on-one with Holtback. Here comes the bullet. Deflects off the glass. 5:40 and counting. Flyers killed off the manpower advantage for the Kings. Rick Hampton throws it into the Philadelphia zone. A lot of fresh legs on for both clubs, including Rick LaPointe. On the stick of Frank Bay, looks up to Billy Barber. Puts it right onto Dunlop's stick, picked off by the Kings. And it's thrown into the penalty box as Vic Vanaski was breaking down that left wing. 5:23 to go. Flyers 1 and the LA Kings 0.
And Prism presents Country in the Summit on March 24th with Roy Acuff, Ernest Tubb, and many, many more. Acuff. All right.
Bob Daly with 5:15 and counting here in the first period. Looks up ice and throws it to neutral ice. Too far for breaking Billy Barber. It's picked off by Randy Holt. Gives it away to Blake Dunlop. The Flyers keep it in the Kings zone. Barber right there, along with a couple of purple shirts as well, and we'll have a face-off in the Los Angeles zone. Oh! Frank Bayes moved right in as somebody took a suckered shot, and I think that was Dunlop off Randy Holt. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he with Cleveland just last year when...
Yes, he was.
With Mel Bridgman? I don't think the Flyers forgot his number. Let's see if we can pick it up again. Almost directly outside as Gary will watch the action on the ice. Holt is trying to get at Frank Bay as he is being restrained. Let's get back to the live action. Well, let's see what the call will be by Wally Harris.
Well, he's a tough customer, that Randy Holt, and, you know, that's why he's with the Kings. You know, he's their policeman, and Frank Bay, of course, came right in to help out Blake Dunlop.
Both 5 and both 10. Jeez.
It'll be interesting to see what the call is on this.
Beautiful. Los Angeles penalties to number 4, Randy Holt, and Flyers penalties to number 31, Frank Bay. Each 5 minutes for fighting, each a 10-minute misconduct. Time 14 minutes, 58 seconds. Randy Holt, Los Angeles, Frank Bay, Flyers, each 5 minutes fighting, each 10-minute misconduct.
So Randy Holt didn't get anything for his first swing at Blake Dunlop there. He got away with that one. Is that what they call a free one?
Yeah, you get one free.
You know, why they're having a board meeting over there. Let me give you a couple of scores here. Pittsburgh and Toronto are no score at the end of one. The New York Islanders in Boston lead the Bruins 2-1 at the end of one. Potvin and Bossy scoring for the Islanders, Cashman for the Bruins.
We do have Blake Dunlop talking with Wally Harris down in the LA Kings zone, and knocked down by Glenn Gallup. And he goes wing to defenseman Rob Palmer at the red line, throws it into the corner. Wilson back along with Holmgren, squeezing off Gallup, and it's picked off by Ken Lintzman. Knocked down, Lintzman with a feed, but cannot hit Rick McLeish, and Palmer goes to the backhand. Bounces in on goaltender Stevenson, and he has a bit of a problem with it and decides to hang on.
There I see Wayne using that cage-type mask. That's very popular with the Russian goalies as we look on the Flyer bench. Pat Quinn is either smoking a cigar or chewing a lot of gum.
Well, I'd have to say it's a
nervous condition.
Gum, right. Kings win the draw, comes back, shot right into the stick of goaltender Wayne Stevenson by Rick Mulhern. And it's Ben Wilson, stick handling in the Flyer zone. Ooh, lying down that right wing. Lintzman with a super burst of speed, tries to throw it out in front, knocked down by goalie Graham. And with Holmgren right out in front, he decides to hang on.
You know, there's a good example of what that speed will do for you. You know, Lintzman just took off from his own zone. Ben Wilson hit him with a pass and almost had a good scoring chance.
Went right past the winger, but Palmer got stick on it. And it's intercepted by Glenn Gallup. Drops it off for Rick Mulhern. In turn, it goes to Goring. The trailer is Palmer over the line. Avoids the hit by McLeish. Jimmy Watson there for Philadelphia. Comes back to Murphy at the point. Caroms off the boards, right on the stick of Paul Holmgren. Looks up ice to breaking Rick McLeish, and it's intercepted by Mike Murphy, back-checking winger for Los Angeles, and gets a shot off into the midsection of goaltender Wayne Stevenson. Overskating is Philadelphia. The trailer is beyond, and Flyers come out 2-on-2. Look for a 3-on-2 now. Holmgren goes wide, drops it back to Rick McLeish, has Lintzman in the crease. Shot! Almost tipped home by Paul Holmgren, picked off by Murphy. Murphy looks off to Palmer, and in turn it's poked down by Ben Wilson. Recovered by Wilson. Wheels away from the check by Dion. Falls down and leaves it go to Holmgren. Off to Mel Bridgman. Flyers, Wilson, stick handling. The Flyers get fresh legs on over the line. Tries to go off the boards, and it's picked up by Bob Kelly. To Bridgman, to Kelly. Bob Kelly hustling for Philadelphia. Kicks it free to Tommy Gorens. In front is Mel Bridgman. Gorens tries to stick handle past Palmer. Back comes Bob Kelly. Tries to kick it free. Gorens for Philadelphia. Thrown around the board by Heaslip. In comes Bob Daly. Good hustle on the part of the Hound, but finally it's the LA Kings picking it off, and that's Marcel Dion. Avoiding the check by Bridgman. The Kings clear to neutral ice. LaPointe back deep as the puck rolls into the Philadelphia zone. Off to Bob Kelly. 2:40 and counting here in the first period. Flyers leading by 1. Doug Howard with the puck. Off the glass. Picked up by Rick LaPointe for Philadelphia. Flyers can come 3-on-2 to Mel Bridgman. Doesn't get much on it. It's gloved easily by goaltender Graham. Almost gives it away to Gorens. Picked up by the Kings. Manaski can't find the handle. And Simmer throws it off the boards. LaPointe there as Manaski avoids a check. Picked up by Gorens. And here come the Flyers. Tom Gorens on this is 22nd birthday. Weaves his way into the zone. Squeezed. Here comes Kelly.
Here we go again.
It's about time we had one of these games.
It's gonna be that kind of a night.
Certainly good for fan appeal.
Even Flyers general manager Keith Allen is smiling as he made his approach to the crow's nest up here.
Gorens, you'll see sandwich first off by Murray Wilson, and along with another King. And the Hound comes in, Bob Kelly here. And as 4 go against 2, the puck came free. But unfortunately, Wally Harris decided that he lost sight of the puck. You know, sometimes you go a period like this, and I don't really recall Bob Clark skating 3 shifts. Is he sick that you know of?
I don't know. I understand that he logged quite a bit of ice time last night and really had quite a game. You know, it's tough, those back-to-back games, as you get a little older. I'm not saying that Clarkie's old, but you know, there's a time and a place. You know, Pat knows when to use them, and before the game's out, he'll get plenty of ice time. You rest assured.
Did not play on that power play. The Flyers control. Leach looks back to Jimmy Watson, throws it off the boards. Al Hill there for Philadelphia. Tries to get it back to Clark. And Hill in turn looks out to Reggie Leach, who was in the crease. There's Leach for Philadelphia at the goal line. Look at the wrist shot. Deflection, backhanded. Loose, and it springs free, and it's picked off by the LA Kings. Thrown into the corner. Ben Wilson there for Philadelphia. In turn, it's Al Hill trying to get it back to Bob Clark. And Ben Wilson and Murray Wilson. This ought to be pretty interesting. Wilson against Wilson. Missed with a right. Well, one thing you know, Ben can go. Ooh, good uppercut. Oh, this is a goodie with Murray retaliating early.
That'll do it. You know, we may get time and a half tonight here with the way this game is going. We might be in for a long evening.
Murray Wilson and Ben Wilson.
Oh, Wilson, he's a scrapper too.
I said Murray, I meant to say Bert.
Yeah, Bert Wilson,
There's
right.
so many Wilsons here tonight.
I don't even think any good punches were thrown. There's one. Now the side of the top of the head, that's not going to do any damage.
Los Angeles penalty number 8, Bert Wilson, and Flyers penalty number 3, Ben Wilson. Each 2 minutes for high sticking, each 5 minutes for fighting. The time, 18 minutes.
Well, Wally Harris is certainly
Bert Wilson, Los Angeles.
giving everybody a lot of minutes and penalties, you know, when he sends to the penalty box. That's probably a good idea, Hugh. Let him cool off and think about it for a while.
Well, we won't have Randy Holt or Frank Bathe for another 15 minutes into the second period. They went 5, 5, and 10.
Isn't that something to get penalized the whole period?
And still be eligible to play.
When I looked at the number of penalty minutes that I had in my career, 1,291. I missed a few games.
That's right. Dividing by 60 is 20 games plus, right? McLeish, Linsman, and Holmgren on for Philadelphia, along with the Kings go Goring and Murphy, and the left winger Glenn Gallup. With the puck, Los Angeles Kings. Bob Palmer try to send away Butch Goring. Stevenson has to take the icing off to get it off to Paul Holmgren. He looks out to Linsman, spots McLeish, pokes it past Palmer, and the foot race is on. Out comes Graham about 30 feet. Stevenson loses, or rather make that Graham, and we're going to have a penalty here against Philadelphia. I assume it will be charging. Murphy fakes the shot, tries to take Rick LaPointe wide, and gets crunched against the boards, and we'll have a face-off. As Gallup comes in, and a little pushing and shoving again. .108 to go in the period, and I would assume that Harris has given that penalty to Holmgren for maybe charging, but we'll wait to see.
You could take your pick: charging, boarding,
Flyers penalty number
roughing.
17, Paul Holmgren, 2 minutes for charging. The time, 18
Paul really
minutes,
comes in
15
and
Paul Holmgren, the Flyers, 2 minutes charging.
Well, a lot of good body checks have been thrown out tonight. This game has certainly livened up in the last 10 minutes.
27 shots by both clubs. 1:08 to go in the period, and the Flyers still nursing that 1-goal edge. Dion will take the draw for the Kings. Clark for Philadelphia, a couple of 16s. Over on the left side, looks like number 11, Charlie Simmer. Back at the right point will be Butch Goring. The left point will be number 27, Rick Hampton. Dave Taylor, high-scoring right winger. Bob Clark gets wood on it. Off the board for Rick LaPointe. Kept in by Hampton. Flyers try and widen out. Shot by Hampton. Oh, hit the side of the post. Going for it, Bob Daly. Good hit there. Simmer controls. Looks back to Dion. Dion comes back to the point to Goring. Looks off to Hampton. Stick handling for Butch Goring. LaPointe there for Philadelphia. And Wally Harris, quick to call that one. Simmer over on the left side is no slouch at 6'3", 195. He and Daly had wood up there, but did not get into a duel.
Well, I'll tell you, what a career he's had.
48 goals. Dion comes back to Butch Goring. Out comes Bob Clark. Partially deflected right off the waffle pad of goaltender Wayne Stevenson. Clark and Barber try and play give and go. Dion right at the blue line, off Clark's skate, and it's Rick LaPointe with 25 seconds to go. Barber looks at the rolling puck, and Dion has it for the Los Angeles Kings. Comes back to Goring. He retreats further into the Los Angeles zone. Hampton up to Taylor. Here come the Kings, 3-on-2 to Dion. Tries to get through Bob Daly and throws it off the board for Bob Clark with 10 seconds to go. Rick LaPointe. Dion tried to get it to Taylor in front. 5 seconds. Kept in by Los Angeles. If they get a shot, they'll have to get it now. That's the end of the period. And it's LA 0 and Philadelphia 1 at the end of 20 minutes of play. Holmgren staring right down at Randy Holt. Let's see if anything develops. Somebody's doing a lot of pushing in front. Oh, let's see. Dave's already thrown a shot. Kelly right there as well. Yeah, if you're going to go, you might as well go now. Get it in. Bridgman and Steve Jensen already going right at the blue line. Jensen throwing about 17 shots and have hit nothing but helmet. Boy, they got up and throwing more leather. Bridgman and Jensen going down. Oh, back to the old days of this year kind of hockey, and I'm sure a lot of Flyer fans enjoyed a couple of Stanley Cup bumps and shoves. Randy Holt and Paul Holmgren. This might be the best one of the night. Let's stay on 17-4. Somebody is trying to get in the swing of things. Mark Heaslip as Holmgren and Randy Holt. Out comes backup goaler Robbie Moore. Stevenson there as well. Well, the goaltender union seems to have everything squared away, and so does Wally Harris. He's conferring with Randy Holt and Paul Holmgren. Randy Holt is certainly not a super big guy by any stretch of the imagination. 5'11", 185. Yeah, the fans certainly love this one. Let's go Flyers. Well, the Flyers, as I had indicated, do remember Randy Holt. I'm surprised that Mel Bridgman didn't somehow try and even up for last year. But instead, he teed off with Steve Jensen. Well, a couple of folks are going there as somebody grabbed at Clark, and That's all we need. Oh, here, Bridgman and Jensen going at it again. These guys didn't have enough. They're going to tee it up and go around again one more time. Usually after one good bout, you're tired. They want to come back for an encore. Well, here go Holmgren and Randy Holt. Oh, jeez, oh me, what a shot! Bang! Oh, Lord almighty. Paul, as you know, is built like a linebacker, and he really unloaded a couple super shots, but Holt didn't even move. Unbelievable. Where's Jack McKinney when I need him the most? We'll have to call the Daily News, get him to come down and do our color here. Ben Wilson is trying to grab a hold of someone there, and Holmgren and Randy Holt went nose to nose. Unloaded some nice shots. Well, even the goaltenders are looking around for someone to hit at this stage of the game. Well, we have played 20 minutes of hockey, and we've seen well over 5 minutes of pushing and pulling, and then a couple of super bouts. Paul Holmgren and Randy Holt, and then Steve Jensen and Mel Bridgman. I don't think this thing is over yet, because we have Bridgman and Holt now eyeing one another. A lot of sticks, shirts, gloves. Wally Harris looking at the milling players as Randy Holt comes off the ice, favoring a left hand. Now he comes back out. All right, Bridgman wants to go with Randy Holt. Yes, indeed. Frank Bathe. Oh, what a shot! He just unloaded on, I think that was Mark Heaslip. Got a good lick in there. That may have been the best shot all evening long, as Bob Kelly and now it's Murray Wilson are starting to try and get some punching room. Kelly pulling away at Murray. Dion trying to pull off the hound. Nobody has a hold of Dion, and now Holmgren gets through. Reggie Leach has a hold of Dion, almost lifted him right off his skates. Bob Kelly, after Frank Bathe got the best shot of the night. Gorence is about ready to get involved with Dave Taylor. That ought to be interesting. Bob Daly has the best view of everything. Heaslip and Kelly trying to go at it. Randy Holt being held off by Rick McLeish at this point in time. It looks like Rick Hampton might go with Mel Bridgman. Ben Wilson right there. Well, I don't know whether they're going to play waltz me around or what's developing, but Lynchman and Dion, a couple of little guys, Wally Harris, standing there with his arms folded. Bob Kelly and Mark Heaslip going at it. Oh, the Hound! Oh, it's throwing with both hands. Pinned against the boards. Oh, it's that kind of night. Kelly continues to throw away. The hit or and the hit E here. Lynchman and Lessard seem to remember each other from, I guess, a previous engagement for sure. Well, the clock has been ticking away since the 15 minutes went up on the board, and now we're down to 5:30. It's always an unwritten rule, at least most times anyway. Forward doesn't usually get into it with a goaler, but it appears that Lessard backing off from anybody. Bade doesn't want to throw one, and we've got some simple fan that's trying to fly over the glass. That's always cool. Mel Bridgman and Steve Jensen for the third time. Well, the All-American from out in Minnesota trying to get that first shot in. Mel with two goodies. Oh, boom! Oh, this is obviously to Mel Bridgman. Somebody threw a sucker, and Bob Daly and somebody else are unloading. Oh, man, watch out for the skates, gang. And Holmgren is livid. Didn't see who that was, but Paul Holmgren and Bob Daly dove in a hurry as somebody from the Kings decided the edge was too much to Holmgren, or rather to Mel Bridgman. Goes Steve Jensen, and I guess he may have the distinction of most punches taken by a visiting player. Well, I think everybody's had enough at this point in time. The Kings are going to their dressing room, finally. Flyers will follow shortly. Everybody's looking for sticks and the like, along with gloves, trainers for both clubs, along with the two goaltenders for Los Angeles. Well, the Hound got a couple of gashes coming up for sure. That may have been one of the more interesting intermissions we've had in a long, long time. But I think now we're going to see officiating by committee. But Wally Harris and the two linesmen will skate off. Maybe they'll inform Lou a bit later, unless maybe they had some conversation. We'll go down to Lou now. Lou, how come no penalties called there?
Well, Huey, I think he's got a lot of work to do to decide what he's going to call there. He's asked John Schwering, our penalty timekeeper, to step into the referee's room with him. That's where they intend to sort out the penalties in the various bouts and hopefully come up with some sort of an equitable penalty call.
It is kind of busy. You had closer on-ice view, Bridgman and Jensen. That was an interesting bout.
It certainly was. Jensen seemed to